Hello, my name is Rebecca Spoor, and we are here at CC Forum Bahrain. I'm so honored and pleased to be here with Yewande. Yewande, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Yewande Austin. I am the founder and executive director of Change International. We're a humanitarian organization based in Virginia, United States, and we empower girls and women, teaching them how to use business as a poverty disruptor.
Poverty disruptor, that sounds very interesting. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So, I was just sharing on a panel how my own evolution has taken place as a social entrepreneur. Change International started off as a humanitarian organization solely working with children. What I very quickly found is that the disparities exist across all populations, all generations, all regions around the world. And so I was entering into communities teaching children leadership skills, providing them with emergency education relief. We were the first organization in the world to provide these services to children who are Boko Haram conflict survivors who had survived conflict with terrorists in northern Nigeria. Teaching peaceful conflict resolution, let's say with former child soldiers in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But what I learned very quickly is in spaces where I was teaching children, the adults in the community were also gravitating towards these educational spaces and were sitting in on the children's lessons and were so hungry to gain some of the same knowledge that children were. And I learned we've got to do more. If we really want to create sustainable impact in these communities, we must provide resources that will help empower and heal the entire community. So that grew into my focusing more on business through an economic inclusion model where I teach both children and adults how to develop businesses, high social impact businesses that directly confront the socioeconomic and cultural challenges in their communities, but generate revenue that they learn how to reinvest into their community. So what we're really doing is helping communities reclaim the power that has been taken away from poverty.
Wonderful. So we're here at the Climate Change Forum in Bahrain. What value have you really found from attending this forum, and how do you really want people to remember your organization?
This has been such an inspiring space. Really one of the few spaces I think that I have been in rooms with such smart people who are doing transformational work. And as a DEI global strategist, for those who don't know DEI, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion, to be in a space where for the very first time in my career, I have been in the midst of such diverse people, diverse backgrounds, diverse economic status, as well as academic backgrounds, but also the way they are tackling poverty, yet see the intersection in everything that we're doing. That's exciting to a diversity enthusiast like myself, because it really is exemplary of diversity. We have moved beyond thinking about diversity as just addressing the needs of those who have been historically marginalized because of inequity around the world, but learning that diversity of thought, diversity of solutions, diversity of lived experiences, this is where we get the sweet spot. This is where we can find innovation through collaboration. And it's important to be able to respect and find value in the diverse experiences of everyone in the spaces that we occupy. And this is what we've seen here in real time.
Wonderful.
I feel like I could do a case study on diversity here.
Well, we should write a paper one day.
Let's do it.
Wonderful. Well, what's your plan for tackling sustainability in your organization, and how has that been strengthened maybe by the forum?
It's very interesting you asked that, because I just had an aha moment about 10 minutes ago. I don't know how much I want to let you know about it right this moment.
Okay.
But I will say that I see something transformational on the horizon for my organization and how I do business. As a social activist at heart first, I must say that I have not always had a good relationship with money. There's always been a disconnection, and for me, I feel a responsibility not to pursue opportunities for generating revenue, because the work that I do is really about changing lives. So for me, there's always been this disconnect, or maybe conflict, right? And so I have personally funded over 90% of my programs because, yes, I've asked for donations here or there, but I have had such an aversion to money that I felt like I'm just going to do it myself, right? I have been in spaces where I've been asked to pursue grants, but was told, well, you can pursue this grant, but only if you exclude boys. And I'm saying that doesn't, it's not in alignment with what I think is necessary. If we're going to empower girls, it's such a unique and important opportunity to empower boys side by side so we don't repeat some of the destructive social behavioral norms that we see over and over again hurting our girls. So the same is true with money. Sometimes when you are asking for money from certain organizations or donors, there are expectations that you need to fulfill of theirs, and it's not in alignment with getting you closer to where you want to be with your own work. But I've seen through this forum a new method that I can go about changing lives, but in a way that, number one, doesn't exhaust the Bank of Yewande, right?
We need resources to make things happen.
This is the evil of the world that we live in, right?
Well, I don't know if it's evil, in my opinion, but I think when you bring light to a situation,
yes,
you can put the attention on it, and when the attention is on it, then you can unite different opinions and different perspectives
100%. It's required.
and different resources.
That's right. When I say evil, I mean the necessary evil. Like I wish we didn't have to focus so much on money just to do the right thing.
That's brilliant.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
So what key project would you like our viewers to learn more about? What are you really, really, passionate about in the next coming years, and where do you want to be, in the near future?
The transformational project that I'm working on right now is Alheri Village. That is my baby. I mentioned that we were the first organization in the world to provide emergency education relief to children that had been displaced because of Boko Haram terrorism in northern Nigeria. I had lost touch with the children and their families for a couple of years, had attempted to follow up with an organization that hosted programs that I was conducting, didn't hear anything. Grateful that one of the IDPs, internally displaced people, kept my information, contacted me and said, help. We have been displaced again. We don't know anybody else but you to help us. And I told her that day, I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I know it's something that has never been done before. And I know that everything that I've done up until this moment has prepared me to do this work. Be patient with me. I will not forsake you. But I'm going to need your partnership, right? We talked about this yesterday, the fact that I employ over 80% of the people on my team. I very heavily depend on the expertise that the people that I serve have through the challenges that they have overcome. So if you're with me on this, because I'm not here to save you, because I can't do it. I'm not Oprah. I'm not, I'm not Melinda Gates, but I can teach you how to save yourself if you're committed with me on this journey. And so a few years later, we're still trying to raise the capital to finalize Alheri Village. It will be the very first sustainable rehabilitation community for Boko Haram conflict survivors in the Republic of Nigeria. We have purchased the land. We're starting to do the building. But something very interesting took place in the process of still trying to raise this capital. That is teaching the women my social entrepreneurship curriculum, which by investing in 4 of the businesses that they have developed as a result of my curriculum, they've taken that revenue and transformed that into investing into 10 more businesses, and now a women's empowerment organization that is officially recognized by Nigeria. They are doing the work. And so while we're still working on building the village, we have some women who are ready to lead on a level that they never thought was possible. So we have change happening in real time until that time. And they will lead the village.
Wonderful.
We're not giving handouts. We are giving hand up.
Like it's a very cooperative model where you have a lot of active participation and a lot of really, focused, dedicated team members that are united all towards a common goal.
And
That's
as a result of that
fantastic.
ownership, this is their village.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's wonderful. Well, I guess the last thing I'd like to kind of ask you today, just what would you want to say to future entrepreneurs looking to make their mark in the world, especially regarding climate and sustainability and how that will factor into this village?
Yeah. When it comes to entrepreneurship, it's funny, I never saw myself being an entrepreneur until I saw that some of the organizations that I was working with, I saw that their model was not really in alignment with the work that was necessary, that there was a disconnection between the organization and the people that they served. And I knew that the experiences that I had as a child had prepared me to do things differently from my own perspective. With that, I always knew that I wanted to affect change. Little did I know that it would really require me to do something that hadn't been done before. Social entrepreneurship has been around for a long time. Entrepreneurship has been around for a very long time. Investment has been done for a very, very long time. But to do it in a way that spoke to the needs of the people that I serve, didn't realize that it would take the innovation that was required to make it sustainable. So I would say that whatever you do, the goal should not be putting just another Band-Aid on a problem, but really go after putting together a framework that's going to create sustainable change, not for this generation, but for future generations. That's what I do. This is not really about seeing total change happen now, but I hope that it's going to happen for a very long time after I'm no longer here.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy. Let's leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Yewande.
Thank you.
And I guess my final word is just, best of luck. And I wish you all the very best with your projects.
Thank you.
So great to meet you today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.